Hey guys, so what I want to talk about today is life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we react to it. Now, why I want to talk about this is that I think some of us don't really control the way we react to it. We kind of let our brain go into kind of automatic mode, and I think we're capable of altering the way we react to certain situations. I think it's like if someone pisses you off, you can choose to get aggravated, but realistically within that situation, what good does it actually do you? All it does is causes yourself some stress, which is kind of unnecessary. So in the moment, we could choose to walk away or feed it. And I think the sort of nature of that is pretty accurate for any situation you're in. So it's a bit like when you get your heart broken. We all know what the breakup stage is like, or that sort of intermittent stage of not really knowing where you're at, as if your whole world has sort of come crashing down on you. And I believe it's possible to pull yourself out of that self-pity pit and use that energy to focus and drive yourself to do something a bit more meaningful with your life. I think when we want to fall in love with someone, we've got to fall in love with ourselves first. So become the person you want to fall in love with. So for anyone who doesn't really know me, I, as I've said before in some of these videos, have had a history of quite a depressive and anxious mindset. And don't get me wrong, there are some days I worry a bit more than others, but nowadays it's a lot more controlled and it isn't quite as extreme as it used to be. I've learned what situations are good for myself and what situations aren't. There have been times where I've put myself in situations just to see how I would react to it. That has been quite a reckless thing for me to do, as some of the situations might not have been as sensible as others. However, it's all part of the learning process to kind of get behind the wisdom of how you and your brain work. So I suppose the first thing I would say is looking at yourself, realizing who you are, where you are, and where you would like to be, and starting to implement the necessary procedure to get yourself there. And you might not ever become that person, but just to try, I mean, that's just rewarding enough in itself. So doing more for ourselves and realizing our worth. Why would you want to be in a pit of self-pity when realistically you yourself as an individual are worth so much more? It's just looking at your life and bringing about a positive change. And I'd like to say that I'm living proof that things do get better when you start to believe that they can, because it's very easy, like I've said before, to get stuck in that cyclic pattern of waking up and having the same routine. And it's quite not a miserable way of being, but it's quite depressive, and it can get very heavy and quite dull, and the thought pattern is just so similar. And I think even if you are really struggling, the fact that you woke up today and you didn't have to think twice about breathing, your heart carried blood effortlessly around your body for you all day, it's something to smile about. I do truly believe that no matter how hard you look, there is always something to smile about. The fact that our Earth sits so perfectly in our solar system is quite amazing, and I think if you're really struggling for something positive within your life, that could be quite a nice place to start. Take yourself outside, smell the fresh air, be with the trees, be with the water. Whatever makes you happy. You can dance, you can go to the gym, just sit, watch TV to yourself. Whatever works for you, start doing more of, and just look at the changes. Like I said last week, it's going to be slow. It's a slow development, but it just goes to show the willingness that you have to bring about a positive change to your life. And especially after a heartbreak, I'm going to focus maybe on like relationships, not just intimate relationship, but even like a death maybe. It's very easy to get stuck on that focus, like trust issues, maybe not getting another pet, attachment issues as well, especially in relationships. You don't want to get your heart broken again, but if you hadn't loved before, you wouldn't know the love that you craved. Is it not worth taking a risk? So I'm going to leave you with that. But I think the brain kind of works a bit like a car. You've got manual and automatic. What gear are you in? Where's your focus, and what energy do you want to attract into your life? So tomorrow I'm going to talk a little bit more about some of my experience and how I got to where I was to where I am. Maybe not all the way back, but I might give a few examples, and I am going to be talking very vague, as I might know a few people watching these videos, and there is no blame to put anywhere. My experience is my experience, and I've loved every part of my journey, because if it wasn't for the anxiety and the depression, the highs and the lows, I would not be anywhere near the person that I am now, and I think that's a beautiful thing. So stay tuned, and I'll see you tomorrow.